play one of the N64 ones or something.
I think we get strike though, don't because Nintendo's pretty aggressive about emulators, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be. It's true. Maybe we should be careful. Play Fortnite or League of Legends, any of those games people play a bunch on streams. Fall Guys, whatever.
You can't play League of Legends anymore.
Okay.
Nick's off the stuff.
All right. Good.
I
It's not good for you.
this week so I don't know if you know this, but to delete your League of Legends account, you have to email their customer service. Like you have to make a
Really?
support ticket. It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
They won't let you just delete it from your profile. You can't just be like, I'm out.
For it to like truly be wiped, you have to make a support ticket. And then after they receive your thing, you have 30 days. And I don't know what the rules are, but you basically have like 30 days to change your mind. It's pretty diabolical, I'm not gonna lie.
That is pretty
It's
pretty strict.
pretty predatory. And so I was like, I don't like that.
Are we live, by the way? We are live.
I don't know.
We're live.
We're off. Hello.
I am going to post on our story.
Happy Friday.
And we are actually live on Twitch right now.
Wow. We're on Twitch, guys. Follow us on Twitch. Get our OBS set up. We can get crazy with it.
Yeah, should we upgrade our? Okay, so I sent that.
Journal is now a gaming company. We're now a gaming channel.
Yeah, what inspired the Twitch stream today, Kyle?
I was sitting here and I was like, what should I do for the next 8 minutes? And I said, why don't we live stream on Twitch? It's like literally where people live stream. So
what it's there for, man.
We are posted over into the heroes.
We could have some fun with them. Just thinking about all the possibilities. Is there any games be fun to play on Twitch?
Kind of love playing Super Auto Pets.
Auto Pets is cool. Yeah,
I do love Super Auto Pets.
Battler type games. Those are fun.
I feel like
multiplayer though. I keep just thinking of Fortnite because I'm like a 10-year-old boy. I guess it's fun.
I play Fortnite. I know how to play Fortnite. Kyle knows how to play Fortnite.
Yeah. Other games that would be fun on my Steam that I have that'd be fun. Like I think free games are good. Games you can play with our heroes would be really cool too. They could hop in and play with us.
Someone asked for the link to our Twitch. I don't know how to do that.
Just copy the URL from our Twitch.
All right.
It's probably twitch.tv/The Heroes Journal, right? Something like that.
Oh, I did a dashboard though, unfortunately. I probably shouldn't have sent that.
David, glad your power's back. That is inconvenient.
Twitch.
Your power's out last week.
.tv/.
Maybe we could play Pal World. I'm just looking at my Steam that I have things I have right now. Build a base in No Man's Sky. Make a planet.
I would love to play No Man's Sky. I don't know, so because the other challenge is Kyle doesn't have a PC.
It's multi-platform, baby.
Kyle doesn't have
it's cross-platform compatible.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's even on the Switch.
I did not know that.
For a second there, I thought we had one Twitch viewer, but it was just me on another tab.
That is technically a viewer.
Technically.
All righty, I think everything is pinned, and we're all copacetic.
Love the word. Love the vocabulary. Hello, everybody.
You know what's funny about the word copacetic is I don't think I know what it means. If I'm being truly honest, I don't think I know what it means. But I use it.
I think you'll find that it means the general mood of a group or gathering, relationship between two people. Even the harmonies in a piece of music, with the meaning ranging from just fine to excellent.
Okay.
I think that's what I mean. That's just off the top of my head. I went to college, so I know this stuff.
Big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
There. See, David and I are thinking the same thing here. That was just off the top of his head too. So, yeah.
So while we're talking about it, just because we have a few people here, what would the value be on Twitch for this particular live stream? Be on Twitch versus being on YouTube or being on. I guess you could do like the emotes thing, right?
You can do this. You can get subs on there. You could have sound alerts. You can play sounds over us while we're talking to annoy us. You can read out silly messages that people send us. You can we can make custom emotes and stuff like that. Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Have some fun with it.
And then we could put the Twitch chat on the screen so all the emotes can be seen.
Everyone can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time we say a word incorrectly, they can type it in the chat and make us feel dumb, and it'd be great. I love it.
Yeah, I've thought about, because I think I can actually do that with our chat, is I can overlay it on our
display
screen.
on our Zoom. Hi everybody. A lot of people coming in now. We got Nicole, we got Melanie, got Ace.
I can't pull up the Restream chat for some reason.
Give me a second again.
Hold on. It just looks really weird for me.
All you guys not interested in Twitch, come on. Maybe it's not for you. Discord's okay.
Yeah. Super excited about the preview y'all posted on Facebook. Should we just talk about it? Should we just
show it?
Should we talk about the drink in the room?
We gotta show it, right? I mean, people maybe haven't seen it yet.
I feel like we can share the little teaser that we made.
So only sharing the tweezer?
Let's share the teaser. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let me go to the hero's quarters. Pull it up.
See, people haven't seen it, so we should just show it right now. I can show it right now. I can play it from the.
Yeah. Whoever wants to pull it up. There's no audio on it, so.
Yeah. Can I share?
You can. I just did that.
You allow me to share?
I'm one step ahead of you.
Thanks, dude.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I always forget.
All right. And here.
Well, but I have made it so that I can interrupt you whenever I want on your show.
No, don't. God, please don't. All right.
If I feel like it, I can do it.
If you feel like I'm using my power for evil. All right, everyone. Can you see my screen? Do some beautiful cherry blossoms. All right, here goes, guys. 15 seconds. Hold on to your butts. Flashing images at you. This is how we brainwash you. Now, those are a bunch of disparate images that have nothing in common with each other. I wonder what. Let me just play this one more time, just so you can see it again. Now, what could all these things be hinting at, boys?
Just slowly brainwashing.
I feel like this is activating you. Any of you, your assassination training is going to kick in any minute now. No. Yeah. What a fun little mood board video Nick put together.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard, we are putting together our 4th storyline. That is the 4th edition, well, not edition, I guess, but 4th version, I'll say, 4th flavor, if you will, of the Hero's Journal. We already have our high fantasy Legend of Astoria. We have our Magic Academy, Astoria Magic Academy.
Yes.
We have our Space Odyssey, the Galaxy of Astoria. And now we're working on a brand new one that we don't have a name yet for. But we are really excited about it. Yeah. And it's pretty early, but one thing that we planned on very early in this process is that we are going to be releasing the first act of this storyline to you guys for free, digital, of course, to get in and play around with and get used to. There are a few actual updates to the page itself. Maybe just one, I guess.
Yeah, more to come, perhaps.
And I think we've actually kind of talked about it, haven't we?
I think we have a little bit.
We showed the habit tracker.
We showed off the habit tracker.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Okay, so there you go. Cat's out of the bag. We put a habit tracker on the new Heroes Journal daily page for this new storyline. That is kind of a big change, I would say. What does that mean for the physical habit tracker bookmark that comes with the journal? I don't know.
We don't
We're
know
gonna
yet.
figure that out.
We have
We're
to
gonna
figure a
figure it
few
out.
things out for this thing. We're still in the very early stages, but early enough that we have 3 weeks of it drawn already.
That's right.
Almost the first full act.
3
So,
chapters.
and I'd
So the
show it to
first,
you now, but I don't want to do that. I want you
yeah,
to live in suspense.
yeah,
Okay. And
We-
yes, there probably will be a hoodie, or sorry, a hoodie, a plushie, and probably a side quest deck at some point.
yeah, yes.
But let's finish the journal first, friends. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our main focus is of course the journal. It's always the
Yeah.
core product that comes first. And
We
I
can't
will
help
tell you,
ourselves. We love our little stuff.
I say this every time, but I really do mean it. This is the one I've been most excited about so far. Um, for a few reasons. Some part of the storyline is close to home for my flavor of nerdiness, things that I like, things that inspire me. But also, we are. It's always tricky to talk about this because it makes it sound like the older things we've done aren't also things that I'm proud of. I do think this is our best work so far. I feel like we are taking innovative steps in the way that we're telling the story, in the way that we are putting the art on the page. By we, I just mean Ryan. And I think that it's truly an improvement, truly an upgrade. And so I would say the old stuff is bad. But this storyline opens up a really cool and brand new way to kind of do the hero's journal. And I'm really excited for everyone to see it because it's like incredible.
Yeah. We're trying some
Um,
new stuff, which is really exciting.
Melanie asked, "What is the proposed schedule?" That's such a good question. We are trying to figure that out. There has been a lot of changes internally here, and so we are trying to make sure that we balance all the new responsibilities that we all have to juggle, as well as making sure that this gets the right time it needs to get fully thought out, not rushed. So it could be anywhere between 5 and 10 years. It could be anywhere between 3 and 9 months. Probably not 3 months, but definitely not 5 years or
We're
10.
closer to that than 5 years, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're almost a third of it done already. So
So 4 months to 4 years, or four months to 3 years from now, we'll say.
Is the
we'll say it's sooner on the shorter end, hopefully.
How about this? I can give a guarantee right now.
Okay.
It'll happen in 2025.
There you
That's
go.
my
I think
guarantee.
that's a safe bet. Yeah.
That's much better. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the colors that this storyline is going to come in. I'm excited for. I just think it's going to fit nicely. I could talk about it a lot. I've been thinking about this one a whole lot, especially over this last weekend.
So today is a funny second time we've done something at the Heroes Journal. And the first time we did it, it did not go well at all. In 2019, it was the fall. We actually started working on GOI.
It did.
Oh God, yeah.
And we posted a teaser of the logo of GOI on Instagram to see if people were paying attention.
I forgot about that.
And the
yeah.
only comments we got were that looks like an alien vomiting
Yeah, looks like a squid.
and like a bunch of not caring overall. And that was one of the reasons why we we pushed GOI till June of 2022.
Yeah.
I will say that today the response has been a lot more positive than
Yeah.
that fateful day in 2019. But
GOI.
it's
Yeah.
a fun thing that we've done. We've teased storylines twice like this, and the first time it was not as well received as we had hoped.
This time we have a cool mood video to kind of give us our inspos, shows what we're thinking of.
True.
So
Yeah, that's true. We're just riding the coattails of Studio Ghibli and Dragon Ball Z and Avatar and all those other references in that mood video. But we were also more nervous back then. We weren't even sure what a second storyline would be like. And so I think nowadays we're a little more confident. We know what we're capable of.
yeah,
And this one's This one's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Very
I think
excited.
I like what Nicole said, saying there's nothing wrong with continually improving, right? We're just kind of building on what we've done before. It's all scaffold, right? And by making this one our best thing possible, we can make even better products in the future. So we're just growing all the time.
Yeah.
We don't
Really good
settle.
question. Good question from Melanie. Are we going to do a Kickstarter or are we going to sell this one direct? We are not doing a Kickstarter. We are going straight to probably pre-order into selling is my guess. I mean, I think in our perfect world though, Kyle, this would make Kyle happy. I know that. We would just have inventory in our warehouse and we could sell it and it would be in your hands 2 days later or whatever it is. But we'll see what we're able to do. You know, a lot of those things are kind of out of our hands, but we're not doing a Kickstarter. We are not.
Not this time, but we'll still have a bunch of fun goodies for you to get eventually. So don't worry about that. We can't help ourselves. We like making fun little things for you guys. No
Yeah.
promises on what it is yet, but it'll happen.
I'm trying really hard this time around to not make this release a big, giant, complicated event. Not that we didn't have a lot of fun with GOI, we did, but we ended up making like a side quest deck at the same time, quest notes at the same time, all the pins, all the Astoria Knot bundle stuff, and it was a lot of fun, but you know it also slowed down the actual journal, and so I think this time the plan is to like just get it out there as fast as we can, and then probably over the coming months after we release it, probably have some other things to come out.
Yeah. I still think it would have been funny if we had done a Miami Vice inspiration teaser as a joke.
Yeah,
I
save
bet
that
you
for
do.
April, man.
Yeah, April Fools. We can do a mood board video.
Our secret fifth.
It's
Yeah,
just bananas and mustaches.
Yeah.
incredible. So we're super excited about that. But that is I think all the beans we can spill on the new journal.
Yeah.
That we are working
We're
on.
excited about it. We're having a lot of fun with it. And I think you guys will enjoy it too. So especially all you anime nerds out there, kung fu fans out there, wuxia fans out there. Gonna go nuts.
We might be able to bring on the plushies, maybe.
We'll see. We'll see how the production timeline works out and all that fun stuff.
Here's my question: did both of you watch It's What's Inside?
Did. Watched it this morning.
We did, yeah. Kyle, why don't you give us a little update on this movie, what the vibe is, and why you picked it? Because this is the movie of the week.
The movie of the week is It's What's Inside on Netflix.
Yes.
By
So
Kyle.
we posted about this, I think, earlier this week, but the movie this week, It's What's Inside. And honestly, the reason I liked it was because I didn't hear anything about it before I watched it. And it had a little bit of that thriller, psychological situation going on. For Halloween, we're trying to do some kind of more, maybe like horror type movies, maybe not full blown horror movies, but just a little bit of a spooky, scary vibe. And this one I felt like was an interesting take on that movie, on that movie genre.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I felt like they did the twist at the end really, really well. I wanted to hear if you guys saw it coming or if you guys were truly surprised by it. And then also, like, I think, yeah, it's rare that like a random Netflix movie that they drop that they didn't market that much is genuinely like pretty good, you know?
Yeah. I was genuinely impressed with it. It was a lot of fun. Again, I don't know if I call it a horror movie. There's horrific elements in it. It's definitely like psychological and kind of freaky the more you think about it. It doesn't have ghosts or ghouls or monsters in it. It's very much just like people are kind of terrible to each other and technologies can be kind of scary as well. But no, to answer your question about the twist, I did not see it coming, but it was satisfying anyway. Which is always kind of a nice thing to happen with these twists. You know, sometimes it comes out of left field, like, come on, how was I ever supposed to guess that? But they set it up a little bit. They planted seeds earlier in the movie. I don't think, should we spoil it? Because I feel like this movie just came out, like, literally this month. I don't think we should talk about the ending. if people are going
I
to watch
don't
it.
think we have to spoil it to talk about it.
I think we can talk about
Uh,
like the first 3 quarters of it. We can probably talk about pretty easily without giving away the
yeah.
story. Because
Okay.
it just came out. Kyle picked a movie that's fresh out of the oven.
That's
Literally
true.
came out like about 2 weeks ago. So
That's true. Okay. I didn't see it coming either. And yeah, and when it did happen, I was like, this is a good twist. This felt earned. I really liked it, and it was a good concept. I think. Like
yeah,
I kind of thought that they could take it in like a ton of different directions. Like I think that that's what a good sort of I think what a good movie does, or almost like when you're creating lore or like a world, it's like you also throw in the rules kind of as quick as you can, and then playing with those rules, and then like I feel like I can almost feel in the writer room like, okay, well, what would happen if someone? I guess the premise of the movie, I'll try and like really quickly throw it at you guys. Kind of a house like a house party, and like there's a bit of an element of like a reunion with like a really old friend from this group. He brings this sort of like new cutting edge mysterious technology to the party, and the technology is essentially allows you to switch uh, brains,
it's a
personalities.
body swap movie. Like this
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah. It allows you to Freaky Friday with someone else in the room,
anyone
and there's
else
a big
you're hooked up to everybody, right? And you swap bodies randomly.
yeah, and
You
they
swap
end up
back.
playing like a group game version of it where they're trying to guess who's in whose body or who gets switched up essentially. And so you kind of have this dynamic of people, you know, being in bodies that aren't theirs and like having to figure out who's who, and then other people starts to change the way that some people act. And what I was getting to is I feel like the writers when they're making this, you start to push the bounds of the rules of this kind of story that you've made. And one of those questions, the first one you start to think of is like, okay, what happens if someone dies while they're body swapped, you know?
Yeah,
And I like how they start to explore that. I thought that's where it got really interesting. Is I was like, well, now what do you do?
yeah. I don't
You
think
know,
that's a spoiler, right? There's like at some point a couple of the characters end up dying while swapped
while
bodies.
they're switched.
So
Yeah.
the peoples who so they're these other people, so their minds are in the other people's bodies. They're watching their bodies die with other people's minds inside them. It's really messed up to think about. But now they have to
Yeah.
figure out like because not everyone's body's available now, right? Like the like there's 6 total. There's only 4 left, and not everyone has a body available to them anymore. That used to be their body. What do you do, right? And there's like jealousy, and there's like this kind of long-standing kind of friend dynamics they have, where there's people who are dating for a little while and they weren't, they had a crush on one another and things like that. And so it's like, how do you there's jealousy involved, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
The way it's shot is really
It,
creative too. I thought the way that the filmmakers like it's very like stylistic. There's a lot of like really hyperactive sort of stylistic type things. Everything they did a flashback, and it was like still photos, but it'd be like almost like stop motion animation of like you know the events from the past. Um, Even like the credits at the end where they're showing like early in the movie they set up this thing where one of the characters is an artist, and she does these art pieces where you put a red film in front of it and it changes the art, right?
I
The
mm,
love
credits at the
that
end,
part.
like the red film goes over the credits and it shows like so it says like this character played Cyrus, and we'll go over the film will go over it and be like, well, they also playing this character who's inside of Cyrus's body during the movie.
mm,
Pretty creative, pretty interesting stuff. I don't know. I just like it was like there's a lot of really fun, lots of stylistic flourishes that I wasn't expecting
yeah.
from this movie. It was really
I didn't
slick. It was really
catch
cool.
I didn't catch the credit thing. That is really creative.
Yeah.
It's a cool way to do that.
Well, they would like also do it like just throughout the movie. They would just throw that
The
lens on
red
to
film, the red
see
film would
who
go
it
over it, and you
was.
see who is actually inside of someone's body. So it'd be,
Yeah.
you know, there'd be Forbes inside of, you know, Cyrus's body, and then the red film would go down and show Forbes or whatever.
You know,
That's right.
one thing I liked about this movie a lot is that, and this could be a reflection of the fact that I didn't know anything about it. It was like it did a lot of things that could be considered pretentious like pretentious like storytelling filmmaking stuff, but they did it in a very like understated way, and it didn't feel like it took itself too seriously.
It was very funny.
Mm.
It's a really funny movie.
But I think if you describe the things they did to some like to someone, they'd be like, "Oh, that's like there's someone trying to be like artsy and all that." You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But because I don't know who the director was. I don't know these actors. Like, it just felt like people enjoyed making this movie, and they just like had some fun licenses.
The director's this guy called Greg Jardin or Jardine. This is like his first full length movie, as far as I can tell. He's done a lot of music videos and stuff. He did an episode of Cowboy Bebop, the live action one.
Oh,
Mm.
He's mostly done like short films and music videos, and then a couple episodes of TV. He did an episode
Wow.
of Wednesday, he did an episode of, like I said, Cowboy Bebop, 13 Reasons Why. So he's mostly just kind of a new director as far as like, you know, Netflix must have liked what he did because those are all Netflix shows I just mentioned. So I wonder if they just like said, "Hey, got an idea for a movie? Make a movie."
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I was satisfied with it.
sure.
Yeah.
I like the style of it. It was pretty clever and like you said, Kyle, it wasn't pretentious. It wasn't like overly serious. It was pretty tongue in cheek a lot of the time. They had a lot of fun with the concept. All the actors seem like they're having a good time with it as well. Um,
Cool.
yeah, having fun with it, being creative with it.
I do really like the name Forbes also.
Yeah, especially for
It's
like
a
a
cool name.
like a tech guy, like a business
Yeah,
tech guy. Yeah.
yeah,
And the
that's
crazy
funny.
names, I think the crazy names helped you remember the characters better. There's like Cyrus and Forbes and Ruben. These names aren't terribly common. Beatrice, like, but helps you keeping track of all the characters that are involved a little easier.
the names like are almost mnemonic devices in a way. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. None of them sound the same. They're all
yeah.
very unique. Um,
It's funny because this movie is almost like it's almost a bottle episode. It's not a bottle episode, but it's almost like the actual setting is one of the characters, and I really like that part too. Like there was so much like there were so many unique things to look at because all the art and all the like the House of Mirrors and stuff.
mhm.
I liked the way they played with like the actual setting as a story beat.
Yeah, all took place in one house. They're all kind of this getaway before their friends get married. Um, it's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
I'm trying to figure out where the Forbes actor is from. I feel like I recognize him from something,
I've
but
seen his face too before. It's
I
David
don't know
W.
what.
Thompson. He was in Green Room,
Yeah, which is a
which
classic.
I've seen.
It's a great horror
He
movie.
was in the Fear Street movies. I don't know if you watched those at all.
I
Those
don't think
Netflix movies,
so.
the Fear Street. They're pretty fun. Um,
Oh,
he's in
maybe I
The
did
Boys.
watch this.
He's the guy in The Boys, the gecko, the guy who can like shapeshift, right?
Interesting. Yeah,
He
He's
also
like he's a
reminds me.
lab tech guy.
He reminds me of another actor. He almost reminds me of the guy. This guy. I can't remember the movie he's in.
He's kind of a character actor. He's got a very distinct face.
yeah, that's probably what it is. It's like he's in Gotham as well, or was in
Hmm.
Gotham. Weird. Anyway,
Like Gecko could like he's the guy from The Boys who could regenerate himself. He's like a lab tech.
that's right.
Yeah, I remember him.
You know who I think could have played this role as well is this guy. Um, I think he could have played this role.
So
Like, I think this guy's a more famous version of the guy who played that other role.
I don't know. I think he's not sexy enough.
That's
All these
Mm,
people in this house are all pretty hot. Like they're all kind of like
yeah,
attractive 20 somethings,
that's true.
early 30s maybe at the
I,
oldest.
a part of me feels like a lot of these people are from like TikTok or something.
I think they're just
Yeah,
salespeople.
I don't think I recognize any of them except for the guy that we just looked at.
They're in a lot of like TV's things.
Yeah,
Like
makes sense.
Shelby's actress was in White Lotus. No, there are a lot of TV actors.
Yeah.
No, I think they all did a really good job. I thought everyone understood the assignment, I think.
Can we make closed captioning available?
Is that something that we do on our side, or is that something that you can do on the
YouTube
YouTube
just have
side?
automatic captions that detects
I
audio.
did too. Maybe not
I
on
don't
live
think so.
streams, but
We
I'm
had
not
it
quite sure.
before.
Yeah, we have had it before. I'm not too sure.
Hmm.
Okay, so Kyle and Ryan, what are your overall ratings of It's What's Inside? Give me your out of 10, no sevens rating.
Ryan, go first.
Oh man. Yeah, no,
Mm,
I think it was
okay.
good. I don't know. I've I guess if we're judging on the Roger Ebert, what it set out to do, set to tell kind of a funny body swap story.
Mm.
I think they could have, they did a lot of stuff with it. I think they could have done even more with it. But yeah, solid. I don't know, 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed
That's
it a
pretty
lot.
high.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting.
I was like anywhere between my range, depending on the mood that I'm in, would probably be 8.3 to 8.7.
That's where I sit too. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
I mean, it's fun to see these kind of like lower budget movies that are kind of like a heady concept. Doesn't every movie has to be a huge blockbuster? Movie costs $2.5 million to make, just like
Wow.
nothing. That's like
2.5? That's
yes,
super
and they did a
cheap.
lot with that money. It's all on screen, man. So I appreciate the kind of like
Whoa.
scrappy quality of these kind of movies where it's like you don't have to have these massive special effects budgets. You don't have to have these huge actors. You can just pick some, with TV actors and some good direction and some creative editing, you can make a pretty solid little movie. So
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't realize that is how much that costs to
Yeah.
make that. That is insanity.
Really good soundtrack too, by the way. I thought the soundtrack was really good. I liked all the incidental music and the needle drops and stuff. They're pretty good.
That makes me respect it more. Maybe it is an 8.5. I was gonna go a little lower than y'all. I think if we can't do sevens, then I would maybe give it like a 6.8, I think.
Oh, okay.
Just because I have whatever the opposite of a soft spot is for like hot people making dumb decisions in horror movies. Like I
Yeah.
just have like not a lot of it's not interesting to me. It's like not entertaining to me. I just don't like it. And so I thought that the concept of the body swapping thing was so interesting and very novel. And I just thought they could have gone like deeper into that question of like keep pushing it, or like what happens if you like do a swap twice, or like
Yeah.
like what happens if just I wanted to sort of like ask more questions and see what happens if you try and shove two people back into one body, or like I don't know, I just like I wanted
Too, Nick.
those.
I don't know about you. I saw The Substance recently.
Yes.
And that's the kind of thing where I'm like, the Substance got in my head a lot during this movie. It was like the Substance is like a grosser, but like it pushes the envelope a lot further than this movie does, as far as like
way more.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I literally watched The Substance like I want to say Monday night, and then I watched this Tuesday night.
Maybe you still got the Substance on your brain and it kind of overrid. It's what's
That's
inside.
honestly The Substance has been overriding everything I've been watching.
It's a pretty striking movie, The Substance.
Yeah, I would definitely go see The Substance. It's probably one of the craziest movies I've ever watched, just in terms of the ride of it. But
it's crazy.
To anchor this back to It's What's Inside, I do feel like The Substance kind of left no stone unturned. Like they really beat the concept into the ground. And sort of every like lingering question I had about the rules of this, of this substance is what the movie's based on, was kind of like satisfied. Whereas this one, like
I want to see how much you can push it, right? You want to see how, like,
yeah,
at the end, like the end. Again, there's no spoilers here. At the end, the cops show up and they come in the room and they kind of show the cops in shock, like, what the hell's going on here? I was like, oh, they did something crazy. It's gonna be The Substance. It's gonna be gross. It's gonna be like,
yeah.
But but not really. One person to one body.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I think there's things you could do with that, with the whole idea of like maybe you leave a little piece behind every time, and every time you swap, you become less of a person or stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
Forbes has something that's like he's deteriorating, which means he needs to find a new body or something. Like, could be all kinds of crazy stuff with that. But
Yeah.
maybe it's what's inside too. You know, the briefcase is still out there. So, Nick, there you go.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. Someone called me. I think it disconnected my headphones. That said, the twist was good. And in my opinion, the concept of the movie was stronger than the characters in the movie. But despite that, the twist, kind of the character-driven twist of the film, was still pretty good. So,
I think they're all kind of supposed to be terrible people. I think if
yeah,
you're looking for funny people to be sympathetic to in this movie, like Shelby's maybe the closest, but like at the same time, she's also kind of terrible. Like everyone's kind of
yeah,
terrible, and so it's a bunch of like kind of
that's
well-off,
true.
pretty people being terrible to each other. So if that's not your kind of movie, you're probably not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I will
So
say
I enjoyed it. I
do
thought it was
think-
creative and interesting, and I want to see more what this guy does. I'm going to follow this director, see what he does next, because I like his style.
You like the cut of his jib.
I do. I think it's very slick.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point I'll be like, there's no more style than substance here. But I thought, the substance. But
and again, $2.5 million to make that movie that's
pretty impressive, right?
genuinely incredible. Yeah, that's really, really respectable.
Mm-hmm.
It made me now we're talking about sort of playing these hypotheticals all the way to their end. It's weirdly enough makes me think of Little Shop of Horrors and the two different endings.
Yeah.
And just like kind of the neutered ending and the happy ending is good, but it does leave you questioning, like, well, what if?
What would have happened?
Yeah, I guess if I'm already in kind of like a horror movie mood, I'm like, all right, let's see it. Let's see the true ends of where the story goes. So anyway, all right, that's the last thing I'll say on it.
Yeah, but good suggestion, Kyle. Again, I wouldn't call it strictly a horror movie, but it did kind of scratch that itch of
Yeah.
Spooky, not spooky, but just kind of like a psychological thriller type thing. So
Well, it was good.
I dug deep into the rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to do live captions, and I don't think you can do live. You can change live captions on during a YouTube live. So maybe next time I can figure out a way to have it go live beforehand. But we know no live captions right now, unless we stop the stream.
now we know.
Well, yeah, now we know. What's the pick for next week's movie? I think
Watching
it's
Evil Dead 2, my favorite horror movie.
I
I'm
actually won't
excited.
be here next week either, so you guys will have to.
You should still watch it, Kyle. It's good. And if you want to see something go to its logical conclusion, Nick, you can also watch the sequel, Army of Darkness, afterwards.
Oh boy. So yeah, I was gonna ask you that, Ryan. Do I have to watch Evil Dead
No.
1?
No, Evil
No.
Dead 1 is retold in about 15 minutes at the beginning of Evil Dead 2. They just basically reenact the whole thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's Sam Raimi, who's
Nice. Yeah.
he's,
Spider-Man,
first,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, his first movie was Evil Dead. He made it with his friend Bruce
Wow.
Campbell and a bunch of other friends in the woods in Michigan. And then he got enough money to make a sequel to it, and everyone's like, "No one's seen the first one, Sam. Just tell the whole movie again in the first 10 minutes." So he does that in Evil Dead 2. So you can just watch that and you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun. Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah.
'Cause yeah, he's probably one of the more popular directors, I would say.
Yeah, I mean he's a Michigan boy. Yeah, so he's kind of one of our hometown boys around here. Him and Bruce Campbell both.
Let's see.
I love him.
I didn't know that.
He's great. I'm so glad he still has a career. He's making Marvel movies now, and
Yeah.
and
Exciting.
yeah. So yeah, Evil Dead 2.
Well,
It's
right.
short. It's like 87 minutes in and out. You have a good time. No wasted fat. It's just hyperactive and fun.
Mm.
You know what's the only scary-ish movie that I've ever like truly, truly loved? Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead, the humor aspect of it all, like, brought me into it. But
Yeah.
it's great.
Horror and comedy are really good flavors that taste great together.
Mm.
Probably one of my favorite genres is the horror comedy. because the good ones are really good, like Shaun of the Dead, Evil Dead 2, Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead. There's so many good ones. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Little Shop of Horrors. You know,
Yeah. The line between scary and silly is very thin.
it's like you know, you go to the amusement park, right? It's like you're screaming on rides, you're laughing when you get off them. It's the same kind of thing. They're very close together in the brain. It's a
Yeah.
surprise. It's two different kinds of surprises, right? Humor is
Mm.
the unexpected in a good way. Horror is unexpected in a bad way.
Yeah, like
True.
you like Zombieland?
Yeah, Zombieland's pretty fun. I've only seen the first one. I saw it in theaters when it came out. Bubba Hotep, Kara, great suggestion. Basically anything with Bruce Campbell in it, I'm a big fan of.
Is it Jesse Eisenberg? Is that he's in that one?
Yeah.
Zombieland?
Yep. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods is really good, Jason. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Terry. Yes.
I've never seen Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
It's more of a comedy. It's definitely not a horror movie. It's like a parody of horror movies.
I see.
If there's killer tomatoes that rolled up people and ate them.
Wow.
It's pretty
I've
fun.
also never seen what is it, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
That's a
is that
great
another
one. Yeah, I love Killer Clowns. Gremlins, obviously, one of my top tier movies.
Classic.
And yes, I think it's gonna be a brag o'clock today. I believe Nicole.
Don't
Sure
worry.
is. For sure.
You know-
Yes, it is almost Bragg O'Clock.
I'm trying to think other good horror comedies.
Mm.
American Werewolf in London's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Movie's great. I don't know, man. Ghostbusters. Does that count? I think that counts, right?
Ghostbusters does count.
That's
funny
close,
that-
isn't it?
I mean, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, yeah. A lot of these Tim Burton movies are
I did
horror
rewatch
comedies.
Beetlejuice this week as well.
Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice the first.
Just the first one. I still haven't seen the sequel or whatever it is. The next one.
Mhm.
I probably will eventually. I just love the original so much. It's
It's
just
so good.
so. Is it? You probably know the answer to this, Ryan. Is it based on any source material?
So the source was a screenplay written by a guy called Michael McDowell, who was like a Southern horror writer. He's really good. I read a few of his books that are really good. Blackwater Saga is my favorite, but yeah, it was just a play or like a screenplay he wrote about a demon. It was supposed to be a demon in the original. It wasn't really a comedy either. But the studio took it and like, hey Tim, you make funny weird movies with creative stuff in them. Want to do something with this? Do it. Have fun.
So good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not based on like a book or a play or anything like that.
That makes sense because it does. It sort of has the structure of like of a source material book, but then you watch like Michael Keaton and just how absolutely off the rails. You can just tell he's being
Yeah.
so like he's not being precious about any of like what the acting decisions are for that character, and so it sort of has that structure, which just lets him be so honestly like unlikable in a way.
There's a lot of riffing.
That-
It gets to be really gross and weird. And honestly, Beetlejuice is not in the
Yeah.
movie that much. He's only in the
Yeah,
movie-
he's really not.
he's only like maybe 15 minutes the whole movie, but he has such an
Yeah.
oversized presence, right?
And why? So who's the guy? He sings Deo and he sings the other
Harry
song.
Belafonte. Talking about
Why so? He's the
because
only.
it's funny. Because it's funny. I don't think there's any reason except that it's funny.
I,
It's like
that's
so
I guess,
opposite. It's so opposite of what you'd expect in like a movie like this.
I guess that's true. Like this time around, I was like, they play his music not just in kind of the two main times, but he's like on the radio in the background, and he's like, he's kind of everywhere, and that's such a random choice. Anyway,
I think it's just kind of what would you call it? Kind of I don't know. Chip Burton's really like kind of like 1950s like nostalgia, but like the cheap side of it. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like schlocky or like
campy.
campy. Yes, there you go. Camp. He's into camp.
Mm,
That's very
yeah.
camp. It's like
Very camp.
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I always thought Beetlejuice was played by Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. You probably thought that because he was the Joker like a year later.
Yeah,
The Tim Burton.
which felt kind of Beetlejuicy. a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, probably cheap royalties again, Jason. Yeah, I don't think Harry Belafonte was in huge demand in 1988.
That's a good point. Yeah, are they going through the artist lists of
Yeah, like
and trying
this
to?
guy. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, I wonder. I would love to hear an interview from him. Is he still alive? Let's see.
Who?
Uh, the Harry Belafonte.
Oh,
Let's
Harry
see.
Belafonte. I don't think he's alive. I think he's.
Oh, he died last year.
Oh,
That's
really?
sad.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh well, rest in
Okay.
peace, Harry. I would love to hear what that did for his for his career. I mean, he's probably already very successful, but
It's probably kind of like when Kate Bush was in Stranger Things, right? Kind of had a bump, like all of a sudden, whoa, people are buying Harry Belafonte records again.
yeah. Wow. Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Rip.
Incredible.
I haven't seen Beetlejuice yet. I hear it's good, but again, I'm probably gonna wait till it's on streaming.
I
I'm
also
intrigued. I
heard
do love
this.
Beetlejuice. I admit I bought a Beetlejuice suit recently, so I thought I should have it in my closet. So
That's why we love you, Ryan.
yeah,
You kind of got
it
to
was on
preemptively
sale.
buy Beetlejuice.
I'll
I'll
wear it
find you this. I'll
for
find
Halloween
you
or
this one
something. I
day.
don't know.
So great.
So like I could do Beetlejuice. I could be gross.
The idea of you just like getting up in the morning, opening up your closet, and be like, "What do I wear
Today's the
today?" And
day.
pushing the
Black,
Beetlejuice suit aside and
mhm,
picking out some jeans or something. It's
right?
really funny. I don't know why.
Yeah.
One day though.
I'm gonna
I
break in really quick. We're gonna start bragging now while we talk about Beetlejuice, so we have some stored up.
okay.
So we're gonna talk about Beetlejuice for a little longer.
Just a little longer, but I'll start some brags. I saw the Beetlejuice musical last year, like the Broadway musical. It came
I didn't know
to
they had one.
theaters in Michigan. Yeah, yeah, it was touring. I think it's still touring right now, but it was really funny. Had some really good songs in it. The Beetlejuice actor just got to riff a lot. Made a lot of jokes about Trump. It was kind of funny. So
I I think that that's the ultimate, like, there's the people who are like, I like the book better than the movie.
yeah,
I think the ultimate pretension is liking it better on Broadway. You know what I mean? It's like it was so much better on Broadway.
yeah,
It's such a funny thing to say, and it's such a the amount of people who haven't seen something on Broadway is so many.
yeah. I think that's what's it's kind of like very elite, right?
Yeah.
I've seen the Spider-Man stage, like a Broadway musical. Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Imagine that was like my only Spider-Man. Like that's my Spider-Man. Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. The musical that injured a bunch of people because the Spider-Man kept falling off the harnesses. Yeah.
Wait,
The
this
whole
was
story.
real? I
Yeah,
thought
it
that
was
was like a
real.
joke. I thought that was like
No,
a
no,
joke
no, it's
from
real. I saw it.
Kimmy Schmidt.
I went to New York back in like 2012, I think, and it was still in the theater, and I got box seats for $50 a pop for a Broadway show in New York City, and we
Wow.
saw Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, and it was the third rework of it because I kept having to change it because the actors kept getting hurt. They kept falling into like the pit because they actually would swing around the stage and stuff. Songs written by uh, Bono from U2. They were not very good songs.
What?
The original one was they had changed the whole script to make it more like audience friendly. It's a disaster. I'll send you a video about it, Nick, if you're interested. There's a
I'm very interested in this.
yeah.
I thought this was a bit from like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt because there
Oh
was a
no.
whole bit about this exact thing, but I guess it was based on this very true
Spider-Man
story.
Turn Off the Dark. It's real. The only good song in it is the Green Goblin song, where he sings about how he's a freak. It's
All
a
right.
disaster. But the whole thing's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
I
Yeah.
think
I
I think maybe the best version of that joke actually. So there's the it's better on Broadway, but then also saying like I liked it better, and then you say like an elementary school's production of that show. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I liked Hairspray better from the Henry Jackson Elementary School rendition in 2007.
Mhm.
That's
Someone's
the
like, which show did you go to? Like, I really preferred the matinee on Saturday. Actually, I thought it
Right.
was
Yeah,
more
the
tasteful.
understudy for Spider-Man is a lot better, actually.
yeah. You should have seen Little Timmy. He was incredible.
Yeah. Actually, when I went, the Spider-Man was the understudy. It was Craig from Degrassi. I've watched Degrassi, The Next
Oh,
Generation.
no way.
Yeah,
Oh,
Craig was Spider-Man that night. He was Peter Parker that night, and he swung
That's-
like 2 feet from my face in my box seat. It was crazy.
that guy's met Drake. That's insane.
Yeah, I know he did. He did.
That,
Craig,
But
Wow.
Drake from Degrassi couldn't get on. He couldn't do those because he's in a wheelchair.
never. He had a wheelchair because he got shot
Yeah.
by Rick, the school bully, or school nerd, whatever, the school shooter.
Degrassi is a show that could not exist today. I want the record to
No.
reflect. That show would have gotten canceled so many times.
So many times, but it went there. Okay, it went
Really
there.
tested limits of what culture could handle.
It truly did. Should we do some brags before we get started on
Do it.
Degrassi?
Also, Victoria had the best version of it. No, Kyle, it was better in the original Klingon. That's hilarious.
That's deep nerd stuff. All right, let's see.
I think Natasha's the first one.
Yeah. Should I start?
Let's do it. You got
All
it.
right. Says I just started the 39 Clues book series and I love it. It's from the same guy who wrote the Percy Jackson series, so I knew I'd love it. Always good to discover a new series to get into. That's fun.
This is a very apropos brag right here. Nicole Davis said, this last weekend and the weekend before, my daughter Melody was in a musical comedy production called Villains and Vixens. She was 11 from Stranger Things, a beachgoer who gets attacked by Jaws, a flying monkey from Oz, and Bugs Bunny. Oh, and Georgie from it.
Wow.
That's range. That is range.
Wow. Talented kid. Congrats,
It's a
Melody.
lot
That's
of-
awesome.
A lot of different parts. A lot of
That's only-
costume changes, I
Yeah.
imagine.
That sounds like so much fun to be all these different characters. That's amazing.
My chat looks a little weird today. I want to make sure I'm in the right place. Is Melissa up
Yeah,
next for the
Melissa's
brag?
next.
Okay, cool. This is Melissa on YouTube. I got my coworkers to chip in on an air fryer so we can all eat more healthfully. I'm assuming that's a shared office air fryer, and that is kind of brilliant, actually. That's
Yeah.
a great brag. I love that. Good for you.
I mean, you fry some air, there's no calories in that. You know,
Mhm.
just oxygen. This joke is stupid. David says, I survived 2 hurricanes in 2 weeks, and I'm catching up on so much grading. Lost power for days in both cases. Prayers welcome for my poor foot staph infection, by the way. Oh my God. Still healing from
Oh.
burn. Keyflex 500 milligrams 4 times a day. Kidneys are doing well, and finally using my journal again. That's a lot going on, David, but you're doing the dang thing, dude, and I respect you. That's great.
Terry-
Hurricanes can't keep you down, man. Staph
Terry
infection can't keep you
also
down.
Experiencing the hurricanes. Finally back at work after the hurricane, I was able to stay on task and get my productivity up. That's incredible. Terry was the winner of Free Roll Friday last week. Terry, did you email me by chance? I don't know if I sent you anything, so you need to just email me so I can send you something. So that
Yeah,
was
Terry was our winner
that was
last
a
week.
tab that just reopened up in my head.
Terry was doing all the stuff with the kids in schools and stuff, right? Like get the
Yeah.
families. Yeah.
We have a second brag from Nicole Davis. She said, my other brag is Fred and I made it to all 6 performances of the show, despite us both catching an aggressive cold and being sick all last weekend. Wow. That's
Parents of the
dedication.
year, man.
6 performances is kind of a lot.
That is a lot. But you know, I'm sure Melody was so this I guess was Melody a different character at each one of those 6 shows, or was it all those characters all in the same night?
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
So either way, that's a lot of parts she has to memorize and like figure out. So I'm impressed either way. But Terry, wrong Terry.
Oh, different Terry?
We have 2 Terrys.
We have 2 Terrys.
The tale
Uh-oh.
of 2 Terrys.
Sorry about that.
It was the best of Terry's. It was the worst of Terry's.
I also want a want a little deeper question here. Melissa, are you saying that the person who wrote the books is in middle school, or they write books for middle schoolers?
Are you telling me a shrimp fried this rice?
Road works ahead. I sure
hope so.
It's got so goofy. I love it.
That's an incredible brag, though.
That is a great brag, Terry.
Mm,
Well,
incredible. Um,
all those parts in every show. She had to learn the Thriller dance, which was the last final number, and she even sang part of Thriller.
Wow.
Wow. That kid's going
Good thing her-
places.
Good thing her name's Melody,
Ha!
whoa.
That's good. That's good.
and it's for middle schoolers.
Okay. Okay.
Stephanie said, "Finish my work for the month so I can focus on my family and supporting my daughter, who is also in a play this month." What a great timing for that comment I made. What a great timing.
Yeah, congrats
right.
to your daughter getting in a play. That's super fun. I love kids in plays. I went to a play for a kid last weekend actually. There's this kid. There's actually a league member, one of our youngest league members. She's 8. And her and her
Wow.
mom do events together, but she was in the production of 101 Dalmatians, where every character is played by a kid. It was
There's 101 kids on stage.
Yeah, it was all kids on stage, no adults. Oldest kids were in 5th grade,
Wow.
and it was amazing. It was so good. She played a Dalmatian. She played Lucky, like one of the main Dalmatians. And so there's a musical. Half the songs are to the tune of Cruella de Vil, but you know what? It rocked. I'm all for
That's
kids on
awesome.
stage. That's so fun.
This is great.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to see a giant wheel of names spin around.
I'd
in a
love to
circle.
see a name wheel. Oh, you named her after Melody Pond. That's a great idea. I love that, Nicole.
Ooh.
And Melody was the only child in the cast? Holy moly. This kid's a pro.
Melanie, I just added your name. There was that comment about
Oh,
adding.
Heather had one more brag. I got an official job title change, which means I no longer maxed out on pay. Yeah. Make that paper. Spin the wheel, boys. Spin the wheel. What we got? It's Mark.
Mark Sherwood.
Mark Sherwood. Mark Sherwood loved to win today, and he did.
Yeah, Mark Sherwood win this one.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations. All we need is to see that you're here.
Raise your hand, Mark, if you're here.
Because let's just say that Mark Sherwood be here.
Mark would be sad if he didn't say his name in the chat right now.
There we go.
If he didn't raise his hand, he sure would be disappointed. And everyone sure would be happy. We'd spin the wheel again.
That's true. It's endless. And I'm sure Mark
Keep it all day. Mark
yeah,
has heard
I'm
this
sure
a
he's heard
billion
them all.
times.
Yeah.
It's never funny to him, probably, but
Come on, Mark.
we love you, Mark.
I still can't believe I ran against a guy in high school whose name was Will Drinkwater. And I think about that all the time.
Drinkwater. That's not a real name.
And I always think about like him taking an oath. I will drink water.
I will drink, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't figure out a name for him. Like,
Yeah.
you're the guy who,
Right. It's just like in the worst like young adult fiction AI written story of all time.
sounds like a fake.
Will drink water. I don't know. Is Mark not showing up?
How long do we give Mark? It's 6 o'clock for me. We're an hour in. So what do we give to? How much time do we give Mark?
I think Mark gets until 6:01.
Okay, 60 seconds, Mark.
Tomorrow.
Crazy.
Tomorrow. That's amazing.
I'll see you tomorrow.
That's a great name for like a time traveler.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. That's an AI written time traveling movie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
He was destined.
Like just in time.
Yeah.
Mm.
There was a Disney Channel show called Just in Time for Just in Time.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Incredible.
All right.
Incredible.
It's 6:01.
All right, Mark. Sorry.
I gotta spin the wheel.
Sure
again.
would be a shame if you popped in now. Sure would.
That means that Mark Sherwood didn't even hear any of our Sherwood.
I know. That's the sad part, isn't it? Comedy gold.
Melanie.
Melanie Gant, come on down. I know you're in the chat, Melanie. I've seen you talking a few times.
We did used to use an actual timer. We would time people.
You would. Melanie. sure would be a shame. Did we lose Nick?
Yeah, he his like server he's like timed out, so it's honestly perfect time.
All right.
But we just need to see a hello from Melanie
Hello, Melanie Gant.
Gant.
Gant? Are you serious? She was in the chat earlier. She was talking a bunch.
A triple respin.
I hope not. Good lord. I can't believe it.
All right, Ryan. If Melanie Gant is not here by 6:03, I'm going to have you ask a question
Yeah.
about Hero Journal lore. I want you just
Oh,
to
no.
go in the back of your head, and the first person to answer it gets a free product.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let me come up with a question.
Because that will mean that they are in the chat to answer it.
They have to see it. Yes. Melanie. Wrong Melanie Smith. Wrong Melanie.
All right, 6:03.
603. All right. Let me it should be maybe on the easier side of things, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to share a picture with you guys. First one to tell me this character's name gets a free product. Okay. Are you ready? Again, I'm going to say it again. Hold on to your butts. All right. Can you see it? Am I sharing it?
You are sharing it now.
All right. Who is this person? Show yourself. Who's this tall glass of water? Not the mouse. Nicole
Davis.
Boom! Touchdown. She got it. Nicole, you get a prize.
Go ahead and email me, Nicole, and I'll send you something fun. Alrighty. Thank you all so much for being here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. And it sure would be a bummer